Our second distinguished speaker for today is a lawyer by training. She's been involved in politics since studying at university in Belfast, and she's been instrumental in bringing record foreign direct investment into Northern Ireland. She was also just a few days ago named Politician of the Year. She is the leader of the Democratic Unionist Party. Please would you welcome on stage the Right Honourable Arlene Foster.
Thank you, Mila, and that's quite a long walk. But ladies and gentlemen, it truly is a great pleasure to be here with you at the India-Britain Trade Expo this morning, and what a time to be speaking and thinking about global relationships. So congratulations must go to the organisers of the Expo for their implacable timing today. As you've heard, my name is Arlene Foster. I'm the leader of the DUP, and which is Northern Ireland's largest political party, but I'm also the former First Minister of the devolved administration in Northern Ireland, and before that I was the Minister for Enterprise, Trade and Investment for 7 years, from 2008 to 2015. And during those years as Minister, I had the opportunity, of course, to visit many countries across the globe, promoting trade and investment, including, of course, to the wonderful country of India. From Delhi to Bangalore and from Bangalore to Mumbai, I have experienced the warmth of the people of India, and I wanted to share this morning with you some reflections on doing business in India. And of course, India is a very strategic market for the United Kingdom, including Northern Ireland, and the Regional Development Agency in Northern Ireland, Invest Northern Ireland, works very closely with the British High Commissions in the country to ensure visibility in what is, of course, an absolutely enormous market for a country as small as Northern Ireland. But as an aid to my talk today, I wanted to reference the 5 mega trends in the world today, which are at the epicentre of India. First of those, of course, is that more than 50% of India's population are below the age of 25. That's a staggering statistic. More than 65% of the population is below the age of 35. Secondly, there is a shifting power from west to east, and India could overtake the USA as the world's second largest economy by 2050, and should be the third largest economy ahead of Japan by 2030. The third megatrend I wanted to look at was that growth of urbanisation, including the provision of 100 smart cities in India. The fourth megatrend is resource and climate change, dealing in particular with the water and the wastewater infrastructure. And then finally, of course, the rise in technology. By 2020, there will be close to 7 times the number of connected devices as people on the planet. And India has around 500 million mobile users, and the government, of course, is trying to digitise a lot of its services. So looking at those mega trends for India, what does that mean for the UK-India relationship? India and the UK are countries that are looking to our respective and joint futures with optimism, I believe, and with a willingness to embrace the opportunities of globalisation. Bilateral trade between the two nations has grown rapidly over this past 10 years and reached some 15 billion by 2017. But I believe the potential is even greater. Our commercial links span a variety of sectors, from life sciences and medical technology to food and drink and energy, defence and culture. But we also have very strong investment links, and the UK has been the largest G20 investor in India over this last 10 years, more than any other European Union country, and I know that there are some of those investors here today. There are 270 British companies operating in India, employing nearly 800,000 people. And there's no doubt that the relationship between India and the United Kingdom is going from strength to strength. And I believe very strongly that as we leave the European Union, there is an opportunity for both countries to enhance our partnership opening up new sectors for business and minimising those barriers to trade. So for the first time in 4 decades, the United Kingdom will be able to determine its own economic destiny through its own independent trade policy. And later I want to look at the importance of building personal relationships, which so often turn into a business success. But as I've mentioned the B word, let me finish off that point in respect of the context we now find ourselves in. Now, we all wish that the context we were operating in was clearer, and that's true whether you're a politician or a business person. But we all face challenges, and it has never really been any different for us. The ancient Greek philosopher Heraclitus famously said, "The only constant is change." But I think what is crucial is how we respond and adapt to the change that we're now facing. And when I first became Northern Ireland's Economy Minister in 2008, we were just at the beginning of the biggest economic downturn in living memory, and there's no truth in the rumour that it was my fault, can I just say. It had a profound and lasting impact on the United Kingdom's economy at the time, and indeed our people. Yet despite the immense challenges from 2007-2008, British business bounced back. And likewise, as we head towards a post-Brexit world, we must have the confidence and the knowledge to do business in a changed environment. We want to maximise the opportunities that will flow from our exit from the European Union, and part of that is surely closer working relationships with countries like India. Our exit from the European Union allows the United Kingdom to re-establish itself as a global trading nation, and that, I think, will create massive opportunities for the whole of the UK, but in particular for my part of the UK, Northern Ireland. Now, I know that some people view Northern Ireland as a bit of an economic backwater compared with other parts of the UK. Northern Ireland has a rich industrial heritage, but our best days are certainly not behind us. I am immensely proud of what our companies are achieving in today's increasingly global competitive marketplace and contributing, of course, to the United Kingdom's economy as a whole. And as part of an outward-looking United Kingdom, we stand ready to seize the opportunities that will be there in the years ahead. And we will do that because of our skills, our loyalty, our hard work, and also because of the ability of our entrepreneurs to engineer solutions to the problems which businesses have, and because we never know, frankly, when to give up. So the UK will need some of that same spirit and tenacity to successfully overcome the challenges. And I'm not denying that there will be challenges in the year ahead, but we cannot be bogged down by negativity and doom-mongering. Instead, we need to remember that we are the United Kingdom, we are the world's 5th biggest economy, and we lead the world in medical research, in aerospace technology, in financial services, and in the creative industries. And we're looking to the future with our groundbreaking work on artificial intelligence as well. So I am positive about the future of business, and I make no apology for that. And I'm also positive about our future relationship with India. So in looking at India, I wanted to take time to look at 2 very different experiences of doing business from Northern Ireland into India, and to refer to some of those mega trends that I'd mentioned earlier. The first of those case studies is a company called Andor Technology, which was established in 1989 as a spin-out company from Queen's University in Belfast in order to commercialise a highly sensitive digital camera. The company is located in Belfast, but has 16 sales offices throughout the world, including obviously India. And it trades extensively with India and has now done so for 20 years. In the last 4 years, they have experienced growth of 30%, especially in the area of scientific research for cameras. And Andor's first foray into India came through a trade mission with Invest Northern Ireland. So trade missions are an excellent way to introduce a company into a new market. It gives them that support network, it minimises the risk, and it helps build those new connections and personal relationships which lead to those business connections and contacts. And I am a huge supporter of building personal relationships face to face. And I know we all live in a digital world, my goodness, I know that very much. But I believe strongly that in order to advance in the world of business, particularly in India, as with politics, you need to understand and to have an empathy with the person you're doing business with. And I know my India friends also share that importance of good relationships. So, like India, we in Northern Ireland, we value family life. It's good to share stories about our families and our experiences. And in doing so, we build up that trust that then leads on to those all-important business opportunities. Second case study is in the area of food and drink, which is another growth area for India and Northern Ireland. And a very good friend of mine, Tommy Dane, would you believe, a humble baker from County Fermanagh, has now set up a partnership with an Indian citizen, and they're now manufacturing and selling gluten-free products in India based on the recipes which Tommy has put together. And it might not be high science, but for Tommy and his business partner, they have started a profitable basis for growth into a very, very large market. And I was speaking to Tommy just last week. He said, as regard foods, the next big trend is meat-free produce, and he's already working in that area in India and in the US market. So from highly technological cameras to gluten-free buns, there's a lot of business going on between my part of the United Kingdom and India. And it's good to speak about those opportunities, but it is also important to recognise the challenges and barriers that there are in doing business between the UK and India. And I just wanted to take a little minute on that issue. India can be a complicated market. It has a federal system of 29 states, a number of regulatory, tax, social and linguistic differences, and even for projects as small as Tommy Dane's gluten-free products, export tariffs can be high, and there can be risks of delay and poor infrastructure, including distribution and logistics. But Prime Minister Modi has committed his government to opening up the India economy, and some of those reforms certainly appear to be working. In 2017, India made an unprecedented 30-place jump in the World Bank Ease of Doing Business rankings from 130 to 100. And in 2018, it has improved another 23 places to rank now at 77. So it very much appears that the government in India are getting to grips with some of those challenges under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi, and I commend him for the work he has done to date in that area. Some of the other challenges which can be overcome through homework, I would say, and accuracy and patience and careful planning. For example, due to the multiple religious, ethnic and annual variations in holiday timings, it is important to be aware of all of those things before travelling, because there's no point in turning up to do business if everyone is off enjoying a religious festival. So having a regional plan, having a good local research is very important, as India is not a single market, but many markets within one country. And of course, each market around the world is different, but from a UK perspective, India has commonality in its legal and administrative history, and of course, English is very widely spoken. The rising personal incomes are creating that middle-class consumer market, and India, of course, is a gateway to the Southeast Asia market. So the mega trend of urbanisation means that over 50 cities are now with 1 million people, and with the other mega trend of demographics, India has one of the youngest populations in the world, which means there's great availability of skilled, low-cost workforce if UK companies want to set up in market. So I've set out the challenges, but I firmly believe that the opportunities, in my opinion, outweigh the challenges. Indeed, as I hope I have shown, many of the challenges can be managed and minimised. Therefore, India, in my humble view, as a market, is a huge opportunity for us here in the UK. So Mila, thank you, and thank you to the organisers for inviting me along here today. It's been a great pleasure preparing and looking at India again. I believe India and the UK are nations of innovators, of entrepreneurs, and the business-to-business ties between our two countries, between our two nations, are flourishing. And it is my hope that post leaving the European Union that we can build on that firm partnership which already exists and actually accelerate the already deepening UK-India partnership and enable the two great nations to reach their trading potential. Thank you very much for listening.